Kyle Kirkwood has possibly landed a knockout blow in the Diecast Indycar League Championship with nearly a full race lead with only 6 races left after 2 masterful drives in the Iowa doubleheader. One that concluded in his first ever win, and the other one getting a 3rd place finish, which ended up being a 1-2-3 for Andretti Global. Now here across the Canadian border, the Andretti dominance continues. Marcus Ericsson, last race's winner, on pole with Colton Herta to his outside. Graham Rahal in 3rd, Stingray Robb, or that's Connor Daly in 4th. Pato O'Ward and points leader Kyle Kirkwood, 5th and 6th. Stingray Robb, 7th, Louis Foster, 8th. Then riding out your top 10, Newgarden and Dixon. Here's where the rest of the field starts. 15 laps at Toronto begins. Hang on a second. I did this wrong. Oops. Oopsie. Oopsie, oopsie. 15 laps at Toronto for the Diecast IndyCar League starts now. Green flag at Toronto. Marcus Ericsson dives to the inside of Graham Rahal for the lead. Entering turn 1, Ericsson, Rahal side by side to begin lap 2 with Herta 3rd, Foster 4th. Connor Daly into 5th. 3 wide for 6 behind them. Stingray, Kirkwood, and Pato. But still side by side for the lead between Graham and Ericsson. It looks like they're going to fight for most of the lap to see who will control this race. 3 wide battle for the 5th spot between the Hoopco's cars and Kyle Kirkwood. But Colton Herta is now broken away from Louis Foster for 3rd as Graham Rahal takes the lead. 2 Rahal cars, 2 Andretti cars. As we begin lap number 3, Graham still in the lead. Ericsson looking to the outside of Graham, and there's nowhere to go. Daly and Kirkwood still side by side for 5th spot. Looks like no one can break it up, and we got a crash. Scott McLaughlin, Pato O'Ward have a huge incident. And is that Joseph Newgarden in there as well? It is. Scott McLaughlin upside down in the final corner. Huge crash for the Yellow Submarine. Thirsty threes. Upside down goes Scotty Mack. Man, that was ugly. This will be a red flag for sure. Joseph Newgarden and Pato O'Ward are also in the wall. And looks like they all were going 3 wide into a corner that did not fit 3 cars. And oh my goodness, Scott McLaughlin ended up going on top of both of them. And then they hit the wall and the momentum flipped the 3 over. Huge crash for Scott McLaughlin. That's a big hit for all cars involved. Hopefully they're all okay. Second flip in as many weeks as Graham Rahal flipped in the first duel, or not the first duel, the first race of the doubleheader in Iowa. But very unfortunate for Joseph Newgarden, Auto Award, and Scott McLaughlin, whose car is flipped over and he has climbed out. So unfortunate chaos here at Toronto to start. Joseph Newgarden in his past 3 weeks, 19th, 18th, and 19th. For Joseph, not good. Pato, who I believe is second in points. No, he's fourth. Scotty Mack is second in points. That is not good at all for Scotty Mack, and that is huge for Kyle Kirkwood. Championship implications in this crash. Newgarden's ninth in the standing, so he's not really a factor in the championship, but he could be. So unfortunate for all three of those cars, as we will restart on lap number 6 with Graham Rahal leading, Marcus Ericsson in second, 2 championship contenders, Colton Herta third, Louis Foster fourth, the points leader Kyle Kirkwood in fifth, the Hunkos cars of Connor Daly and Stingray Robb 6-7. Scott Dixon 8th, Christian Lundgaard 9th, Alex Palou rounds out your top 10. Then Alexander Rossi, Nolan Siegel, Jacob Abel, Christian Rasmussen, Will Power, and Kiffin Simpson. Green flag. The Andretti boys are lined up, and on the Rahal boys, and Marcus Ericsson goes straight to the lead, side by side for second between Herta and Rahal. Hunkos boys trying to get in the mix as well. Ericsson still out in front. Whoa, he nearly gets turned around. Ericsson leading on lap number 7. Marcus Ericsson had an up and down season, but the Iowa doubleheader has vaulted him into this championship contention, and he's taking the momentum back with him here in Toronto as we're at the halfway point of this race, and he is leading. Got a lot of good battles going on right now. The battle for fourth is getting interesting. A lot of cars in the mix for that. Louis Foster, Stingray Robb, Kyle Kirkwood, as well as maybe Palou, Dixon, Abel, and Daly, all fighting for fourth, but the battle for second is on between Herta and Rahal. But nobody can challenge Marcus Ericsson right now, as Rahal is not clear of Herta just yet. We begin lap 8. Colton Herta gets in front of Graham Rahal. Kyle Kirkwood moves up into the fourth position and immediately sets sail on Graham Rahal, as Louis Foster still in fifth, with Stingray Robb in sixth. The Ganassi teammates of Dixon and Palou side by side for 7 and 8. Here's Jacob Abel to the inside 3 wide. 3 wide for 7th place. It's going to be won by Alex Palou. And Palou immediately jumps in front of Scott Dixon. Dixon might follow the slipstream and get ahead of the 18. Been really tough to pass here today. It looks like, as here's Colton Herta on the inside of his teammate for the lead. Graham Rahal. He goes around up the nose of Kyle Kirkwood. Rahal into the wall. Hard hit for Graham. Kyle Kirkwood somehow didn't. Oh my goodness. Graham Rahal got turned. I think he came right down in front of Kirkwood and spun into the wall. Hard hit for the 15, and that's major championship implications. Now Kyle Kirkwood has some damage. Unfortunate for Graham. Another championship contender taken out in a crash that did involve the championship leader. However, for good thing for Kirkwood, he did not get taken out. He does have some damage which could affect his overall pace, but he should be fine. At least he's not Graham Rahal out of this race. Well, let's take a look. Graham got a push from Louis Foster, and I think he thought he was all clear of Kyle Kirkwood, and he wasn't. He came down in front of him and spun out. And good thing for Kirkwood, he kept his car straight because he almost wrecked as well. 16th for Graham Rahal, and big hit for third place in the championship. Second, third, and fourth, all not running all out of this race, so they'll get 0 points in the championship. Will Power, 5th in points, is running at the back of the field. Marcus Ericsson in 6th may vault his way up in the second in the standings with this great result, and he'll gain ground on Kirkwood. And entering this race, Kyle Kirkwood was at 322 points. Marcus Ericsson was 6th in the championship, 258. So 322 minus 258, 64 points back. If he finishes where he is now, and Kirkwood finishes where he is, 2nd and 4th, that'll be a 7-point difference in the championship. So Kyle Kirkwood would have a race advantage over the entire field. Well, here we go. Lap 11. Green flag is back out at Toronto. Herta and Ericsson side by side for the lead. Kyle Kirkwood dives. He's going to make it 3 wide for the lead between the Andretti boys. Andretti rolls on. They want this bad. Between the Andretti boys, trying to make a statement to this field that they have the best 3 cars on the grid. Question is, who's going to take the lead here? It's going to be Ericsson for now. Herta's still there. Louis Foster and Stingray Robb are staying in the fight. Colton Herta looks for the lead. Kirkwood jumps out 3 wide again. Big run from Foster. He jumps up to the battle for second. Ericsson is all clear. Ericsson to the lead. Looking for win number 3 of 2025. Here comes Alex Palou into the fight. Palou into the fight for the win as well. Kirkwood now gets passed by Stingray Robb for 5th, but the battle is on for 2nd. Foster, the rookie, and Herta. Stingray's gonna give slipstream to Foster. Louis Foster in the 2nd. 3 laps to go at Toronto. Marcus Ericsson leads. Foster in the 2nd. Stingray, Robb, and Colton Herta fight for 3rd. Alex Palou looks to the outside of Kyle Kirkwood. That's for 5th place. But the battle is on for 7th. Scott Dixon and Jacob Abel. Can the rookie Louis Foster chased down Marcus Ericsson and claimed win number 1 of his Diecast IndyCar League career in his rookie season. Stingray Robb is now in position for a podium. He moves up to 3rd, but the battle is on for the lead. Louis Foster tucked underneath the gearbox of Marcus Ericsson. We head to 2 laps to go. Louis Foster looks to the outside. Here's Louis Foster looking for the lead. Stingray may make it 3 wide. Colton Herta is there as well. Don't count out Palou and Kirkwood. Will Power still stuck in 11th, or is he? Scott Dixon and Connor Daly have really leaned on each other, and they're going to fall back. Kirkwood up to 5th. Jacob Abel now moves up into 6th. He's ahead of Palou, and now Abel looks for 5th. But it's a 4-car fight for the win. Foster, Ericsson, Herta, Robb, all fighting each other for the win. Stingray may look at 3 wide, white flag. Stingray Robb makes the move. He wants to win. Robb and Ericsson side by side. Foster, Herta right there, 3rd, 4th. Battle for 5th is on. Kirkwood passes Abel. Palou gets around Abel. Rossi gets around Abel. Huge mess for the last spot in the top 10. Nolan Siegel, Rasmussen, and Power. Dixon's really getting killed back here. He's falling back towards where his teammate Kevin Simpson's been all race. Last. But the battle is on for the lead. Stingray Robb and Marcus Ericsson, the best car all day, fights a car that's coming on, trying to steal it. Herta and Foster are there if the top 2 crash. Side by side. Robb on the inside. Ericsson on the outside. Ericsson and Robb trying to hang on. It's going to be a side-by-side battle for the finish between Marcus Ericsson and Stingray Robb. And Marcus Ericsson pulls ahead of Stingray Robb. Stingray can't challenge. Back-to-back wins for Marcus Ericsson. What a win for Marcus. Stingray Robb, valiant effort in 2nd. 2nd podium of the season for Louis Foster. Colton Herta comes home 4th. The points leader Kyle Kirkwood gets 5th. Alex Palou gets 6th. Battle for 7th. Jacob Abel looks like he's going to win that one. But what a win for Marcus Ericsson. Another one for Andretti Global. And Andretti Global keeps the beat moving. All 3 of their cars inside the top 5. Jacob Abel 7th. Alexander Rossi comes home 8th. Rasmussen 9th. And Will Power does get a top 10. But he gets 10th. He loses ground to Kirkwood. Scott Dixon also lost ground to Kyle Kirkwood. He comes home in the 12th position behind Nolan Siegel, who gets 11th. Christian Lundgaard comes home in 13th. And Connor Daly, who had a top 10 day going, it all unraveled for him in the end. Kevin Simpson 14th, Connor Daly 15th. But another win for Marcus Ericsson. Back-to-back for him, 3rd of the season. He now has the most Diecast IndyCar League wins in the series. And he'll get to burn it down. Back to back for Marcus Ericsson. He's really trying to make a late championship charge on his teammate Kyle Kirkwood. Huge race for him. And he keeps his championship hopes alive with 5 more races to go and more ovals. Andretti Global look good on ovals. We'll see if they can challenge again at an oval. See y'all later. RV out. Peace. Congrats to Andretti Global, Marcus Erickson, and Delaware Life.